everybody. My name is John. I'm one of the pastors at St. Paul's United Methodist Church, and this is the podcast for the sermon series at CORE, which is our Sunday night worship service at St. Paul's United Methodist Church. I just wanted to catch everyone up on the last 2 weeks and what we've done the last 2 weeks in our sermon series, Belief from Doubt, which is examining questions that people have about this faith Christianity that we all are growing in. And the last 2 weeks we spent talking about the calling and what it means to be called by God, and also what difference prayer makes in our lives. And this week we're going to be talking about who Jesus is as we go through the book of Colossians. It's a book filled with questions and filled with really, really quite good answers that the Apostle Paul offers for us that can still mean a lot to us even to this day. So I wrote a little preamble for us, and before I read that, I'm going to read the passage that we're going to be covering tomorrow night at the CORE, and it comes from the book of Colossians, chapter 1, 15 through 23. It says, "He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For in him all things in heaven and on earth were created, things visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or powers, all things have been created through him and for him. He himself is before all things, and in him all things hold together. He is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, so that he might come to have first place in everything. For in him all the fullness of God was pleased to dwell, and through him God was pleased to reconcile to himself all things, whether on earth or in heaven, by making peace through the blood of his cross. And you, who were once estranged and hostile in mind, doing evil deeds, he is now reconciled in his fleshly body through death, so as to present you holy and blameless and irreproachable before him, provided that you continue securely established and steadfast in the faith, without shifting from the hope promised by the gospel that you heard, which has been proclaimed to every creature under heaven. I, Paul, became a servant of this gospel." And that's what we're covering tomorrow at the CORE. And I think it really answers some questions about who Jesus is and who Jesus was for Paul, but a lot of people have a lot of questions about who Jesus is, and that passage probably doesn't give you clarity. So we hope that you come tomorrow night as we unpack that passage. I wrote a little sort of preamble to the message that I'll read this evening, and because the truth is we all have a lot of opinions about who Jesus is, and many people have a strong doubts about who Jesus is and was. In fact, there are tons of people in our midst who believe that God exists, but believing that Jesus was the Son of God is a completely different, huge step or leap of faith for them. Some people believe he was a good teacher. Others believe that he was a great prophet. Some people thought he lied. Some people believe God adopted him as a son, while others believe that he was present in the beginning, and with God he co-created the heavens and the earth. Some people believe he was liberal, others conservative. Some people believe he died for us, others believe he died because of us. Some people think he is completely human, some completely God, and others completely God and human, and still others believe that he was something in between. Some think that he was resurrected, and some think it was staged. Some call him Lord, and others call him a liar or a lunatic. Some say he was a pacifist, others thought that he was going to be a war leader. Many people respect him, but some hated him. Some people believe he encouraged us to follow the law, others believe he taught us to reject it. Some people claimed to understand his teachings, others thought he was dancing around the Torah. Some thought he was the Son of God, the teacher, and the Messiah. But what I tell you is this, is that whatever thoughts you've had about Jesus or you've had recently, they're not new. Many people have had those thoughts before. There's literally nothing that you can think about Jesus under the sun. And honestly, Jesus is one of the most controversial figures the world has ever seen. And tomorrow night we're going to try and unpack what Jesus means for each and every one of us. So we hope to see you there as we unpack who Jesus was and what difference that makes in our lives, because that's really important. As Christians, our sort of vision or our mission is to follow Jesus. It's what it means to be a Christian, a Christ follower. So as we explore who Jesus is tomorrow night for each and one of us, I hope that it shapes us and forms us in terms of who we are as Christians. So see you tomorrow night.